Blackwell Keep by Charles Eugene Anderson. Chapter 1. Aveline coughed and sputtered as the icy seawater burned her lungs. She was dragging herself onto the rocky shore, sharp rocks and debris surrounding her in the surf. She collapsed face down in the sand, exhausted. After a few moments, she pushed herself up to take in her surroundings. She was on a small strip of beach, flanked on one side by sheer cliffs that stretched up into the gloomy overcast sky. On the other side, the sea was churning angrily amongst the jagged rocks that had destroyed her ship. Aveline shivered, her thin white tunic plastered against her skin. She had lost everything in the wreck, her crew, ship and belongings. She was stranded alone on this bleak island without food, weapons, or even a cloak to warm herself. As she contemplated her grim situation, Aveline heard a rustling noise from the top of the cliffs. She looked up to see a humanoid figure peering down at her. It had grey skin, long dangling arms and rows of sharp teeth visible even at this distance. The creature scuttled a bit closer, finding a path down the cliff and down to the beach. Aveline's blood ran cold. What fresh hell was this place? She turned and ran along the beach, unsure where she was going but desperate to escape the cliffs and the monster above. The beach curved around a large rock outcropping. As Aveline rounded it, she skidded to a halt. There, carved out of the face of the cliff, stood a towering keep of dark stone. It looked ancient but intact. The main gate stood open, torchlight flickering from within. With the creature still chasing her from behind, Aveline made a split-second decision and sprinted for the gates. She dashed inside, not looking back to see how close the monster was to her. Panting, Aveline glanced around the courtyard. The place was deserted but showed signs of recent habitation. Light glowed from narrow windows in the soaring towers. A well-tended garden stood nearby, flowers wilting but not yet dead. Where were the inhabitants? As Aveline paused to catch her breath, the heavy gate suddenly swung shut behind her with an echoing boom. She spun around but there was no one there. Unease growing, Aveline crept toward the entrance to the main keep. She had to find answers about this place, and hopefully the means to survive and escape. Gripping her sodden tunic tightly against the chill, Aveline pushed open the carved wooden doors and entered the keep. A not-so-gentle voice said, "Why are you trespassing on my island?" Chapter 2. The kitchen was dimly lit by dying embers in the giant stone fireplace, but it was warm and comforting compared to the bitter cold outside. Aveline
Sample complete. Ready to continue?